Lunjani usuku namhlanje? How was the day?
Not bad, but you know, a Monday, it's always a Monday.
Yeah. Unjani
So,
umedem?
but right, ending.
Ba right endlini.
Sure.
I know as long as umedem right, that's the right. Because umedem uyena osigcinele wena owenza sure ukuthi right ngaso sonke isikhathi. Welcome to our football live chat with football fans, Prateri. Ama-fans wonke athe afuna ukukhuluma nawe namhlanje.
Yeah. Non-con, it's me.
Growing up at Tembisa, obviously, uPrajeri waziwa kakhulu eTembisa. How was it like for you growing up as a young boy there?
Well, I can say not that difficult. I was like based in one area, one section. So like in my lower primary school, my higher primary school was just a walk from home, same section. So I was not somebody that was moving a lot in Tembisa when I was still a youngster.
Tembisa Santos, uyayikhumbula?
Yeah, that was the team that was based at home. That was like my late uncle's team. He was one of the founder members there. And at one stage,
Okay.
like the jerseys, they were khona. So bengidlala kuwona sivuka nebhola, so I was like in a football family.
So kahle kahle ububhola lami ibhola belilala la eceleni kwakho.
Yeah, ibhola belila nje bebelilethe la kumina ngisemncane. So and the passion yami because my late uncle was a good goalkeeper. I was also a goalkeeper.
Oh,
when I
okay.
grew up. Yeah.
1987. Uyakhumbula?
Yeah.
There was this white man, this white man that came to Tembisa and saw a very good sprinter.
Yeah, definitely. But I think he was invited. He was invited because I was like still at school, like playing soccer, and I can't say I was lucky, but we were lucky to have Fanny Madida coming to our school. And by then, Fanny Madida had a contract in the Kaizer Chiefs, but he was loaned to Giant Blackpool. So I think he is the one that recommended to the late Eddie Lewis to say, look, there is this player in Tembisa.
Giant Blackpool was not a team for granted, Prajiri. It was a top team. The likes of Shoes Mushweu, Fanny Madida, and yourself, you all come from the team. How was it like for you to join such a well-respected club in the 80s?
Well, to be honest, through somebody that came via the school sports, I was well looked after. You know, like both late coaches, Eddie Lewis and Sandy Lebali. I was the youngest in the team, still at school. And, you know, I was so protected that I felt at home, and there was no bullying from the older players because they had to respect the coaches, because each and every time we go, I would be like in the coach's car and the rest of the guys would be in the bus. So I was like more of a prodigal son to the team. I was protected. And I was not even playing then. Remember, we had the three mosquitoes, the late Shoes Mushweu, Fanny Madida, and Komakoma Masang, Boy. Those were the three guys that were like good
Shoes and company.
Shoes and company. And I was like an understudy to those three. But you know, when we start winning 4, and then I would get that 10, 15 minutes of just game time, have a feel of the ball, and that's how I grew up. So I never had any difficulties, honestly speaking.
Mara Pracheri, if I don't ask you this question now, a lot of people are going to attack me. I need to ask you this question now so that we'll move swiftly with other questions. How do you feel about a proposal yokuthi iMakhulong Stadium should be named after you?
Well, obvious. I mean, that would be a huge. I don't know how I can put it, because it won't be like something that anyone can just get. You know, if it comes from the municipality, it would be like a huge. I really don't know how to describe this feeling, you know, because you look now, all the guys that were named, like the stadiums were named after, are those guys that were like almost after 20, 30 years not playing football, and then the stadiums are named after them. Now we've got the late, the guy from Devon. What's the name of that stadium? Sugar Ray Tony. Now it's late. Now we've got like Lucas Morepe, who's not, I think he's still alive, but he's not well healthy-wise, you know. But for me to be this young, to be this energetic, still involved with the game, and given that honor.
While you are still alive. No, Pracheri. We are excited for you, and we are happy, Guti, you get the honor that you deserve. But Pracheri, you are known as a very provocative player. Do you agree with the thoughts?
Yes, I will. But at the same time, not at all. I think I still need to elaborate on that.
Please, please.
Yeah. You want me to come in? Yeah.
Please.
Look. As I mentioned earlier on, when I got to join Blackpool, I was introduced by a white guy, you know, Eddie Lewis. And the mixture of the people that I was close to in terms of moving around, like from East End, I had the late Harold Ellis. He was from Boxbeck. I had Kevin Lane. He was from Boxbeck. I had Terry Payne. He was from Pinoni. I had Neil van Rooyen. I think he was from Brakpan. And I was from Tembisa. And Eddie Lewis brought me with these guys, you know. And you know how white people act and react in every situation. Either football, training, or social. They always more arrogant. And that's how they are. We blacks respect them the way the whites are. You know, everything that they do, there must be that little bit of arrogance on that. So being in that mix, you know, seeing those things, looking at those things, sometimes you just sit and then you just get a knock from your back and they start laughing at you. And then when you get angry, they tell you how you are a sissy. So those things, they grew up with me from the inside, you know. At training, we play a game. I get knocked off from the opposition defense. And then I start like, you know, chickening out and being apologetic. And they just look at me as teammate. It's fine. We play the game, we finish. On Tuesday at training, all these white people, they'll be on me. Even the coach himself, Eddie Lewis, will tell them he is a softie. He needs to be more hard, you know. And then they'll start kicking me from training. And obviously I need to react. And that's how it started. But you know, the funny part of it, you see this Jerry inside the field that people regard as arrogant, of which I wasn't. I was just doing my job. And I'm glad that I never broke anybody's leg or like take somebody out, you know, in a stretcher or something. Yes, I was hard through the way I grew up, but also you find me off the field. I was totally different. You wouldn't compare the Jerry inside the field and off the field because I've got that little bit of sense of humor.
Yes, a lot of people that I've spoken to, Prajeri, they said the very same thing, that the Jerry that you see on the field is a totally different Jerry that you see off the field. You were a chilled guy, but remember when you turn 22, remember le mpahla wayithenga, le moto wayithenga.
Yeah, well, that wasn't like the car that I bought. It's the car that was given to me.
Oh, it was given to you?
It was given to me because I was now clever. Now I would drive the car, you know. And there was one time from like my late brother, my older brother, brought me his Datsun, a Datsun 1400, you know. And then I went to training driving that car, and they saw me driving. But of course, you know, illegally, so without a license. But, you know, you always get away with these things when you play soccer. And now they said, no, there's no way after training, the bus must drive you to a Pre-Strait to catch a taxi to Tembisa, and it's always late. You know, we were training at 6, and then we finish at 8, and then the bus must rush to take me to Johannesburg to catch the last taxi to Tembisa, and that didn't work well with the management. And after they saw me driving that Stanza 1400, a Datsun Stanza was organized for me, and that was my first car.
Pratshiri, hayi no, hayi ngibonile ukuthi no Pratshiri, hayi bulayithile usamncane buseyintweni. There's a great compliment for you here from Coach Rulani. He says you are a top man and you are a fierce competitor. Obviously you've coached against him, and he said you should be coaching professionally. What do you think?
Wow, I mean, for me, I respect the young boy compared to what he's saying to me now. I think I've met Rulani. I think we've been like engaged for almost 2 years in succession. Are we still together, bro?
Yes, we're still here. We're still here, Pratshiri.
Yes, we've got these big games that they call like the Phillies games. So Coach Rulani used to bring this good team from Soweto. And what a marvelous team. I mean, the likes of Olam Lambo, all these guys that are playing professional, they were playing for his team. And I was bringing all these youngsters. I think Tembas Wane was still with me as a youngster. And if I'm not mistaken, Lerato Lamula from Golden Arrows as well. I've beaten him twice. You know, but to me, he really 2 years in succession, I took him out of the competition. I think in the quarter-final stages. So for me to get this compliment, look, yes, it's true. I've done that, but if I don't have that opportunity or chance to showcase my skill, unfortunately, I'll just wait and see where it goes. But yeah, I also wish I can get like a nod to go and like coach one of the big teams.
Now your chance is going to come, Pratshiri. Your chance is definitely going to come. But let me take you back a little bit. 1993, Witbank Aces. You remember those days?
Yeah, I think 1993 mid-season. Because that year, 1993, in the beginning of the season, we were still like Sharp Highlands Park. Remember, it went from Giant Blackpool to Sharp Blackpool, and then it changed to Sharp Highlands Park. And unfortunately, the team didn't do well because most of the players left. You know, funny to go back to Chiefs. I think the late shoes went to Chiefs, and the team was sold to the Greek guys. I've forgotten the names. But unfortunately, also the Greek guys sold the team to one of the tycoons in Velcom. And the team was changed to Velcom Eagles.
Velcom Eagles, yes, I remember.
Yes, and mind you, we were like still doing like the school work up and down. We were staying in like Tembisa, and then we have to drive to go and do the training in Velcom. We train at 6 with Trot Moloto, and then we come back at 8. We home round about 10. So it was always difficult. And there were this group of guys like Joe Shili, Paige Mahlangu, Adam Mapena, Petsing Malo. They were all at Blackpool, and I was like staying with them here in the East End. And we were going to play Aces, and I was still with Velcom Eagles, Kwamhlanga, which is Kwandebele. And we went there, we beat them 2-1. I scored one of the goals. And immediately after the game, they called me on the side to Vili Mahlangu to say, look, we know there are difficulties with this team, and this team is not going anywhere. There is no direction in Velcom Eagles. We want you to come and join us. And I was like, look, with all these guys, I can't hesitate, because I was also going to hike from their bus. After playing Aces, I was hiking in their bus because the bus was like coming to Tembisa with all these guys that were my friends. So now I never find it difficult. And I spoke to the chairman immediately after the game of Velcom Eagles. And you can't believe, verbally, they agreed, the two chairmen, to say, look, Monday, we'll give you Jerry's clearance. We don't need any cent. And that was it. I joined Aces. I think it was like July, second round of the 93 season. You know, we used to start January to November.
Yeah.
Before it changed to come to like a mid-season in the middle of the year. And yeah, that's when I joined Witbank Aces.
1994, EACs went to play in the CAF games, and you did not have a long journey. But 1995, with Pirates, you started beating teams left, right, and center until that fateful afternoon in Abidjan.
Yeah, also with the experience of, you know, venturing into Africa with the Witbank Aces, because I remember we went to Swaziland, we went to Reunion to play there, and I had that experience, but not knowing or being aware that I was going to go to Pirates come 95. Because for Aces to qualify, because we beat Chiefs in the Mainstay Cup, if you remember.
Yes.
We beat Chiefs 1-0 in the Mainstay Cup with Richard Pierce scoring the goal, and we qualified for that. It was Cup Winners' Cup then.
But Pracheri, for the benefit of the 90s kids, it was no longer Mainstay Cup, it was the Pop Save.
Well, I want to call it the way I've played in it.
I know.
You want to change it. You know, I'm a 2000, we'll get it to be the Pop Save. But man, I'm the 90s. That was the Mainstay Cup.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Compliment to that.
Yeah, I know. I put me on the Mainstay Cup.
Mainstay Cup was the best. You talk to all the legends. They know the Mainstay Cup. I'm a 2000. They know the Bob State Super Bowl. But yeah, it's one of the same.
Now, Pracheri, remember that day in Abidjan, when you scored that goal. I think that goal, it will remain one of the most memorable goals, not only for Orlando Pirates, but for South Africa, because that's when we got a taste your continental competition. How was it like for you after that game?
Well, honestly speaking, people want to ask me the same question that you're asking after scoring the goal, the celebration, how was it? I think to me, that was not the most important thing. People don't know that I was not even supposed to be in Abidjan. Due to the fact that in the first leg, when we played at FNP Stadium, we drew 2-2 with this team. And remember, when I joined the team in the quarterfinals, from my first game, I started scoring in all the games. Quarterfinal, like last 16, I scored. Quarterfinal, I scored more goals. Semi-final, I also scored more goals. Come the final at the FNP Stadium, I didn't score. And unfortunately, I created our first goal for equalizer, which was scored by Hellman. And then these guys scored the second goal, which was like 2-1. And then I forced a corner, of which it was taken by Hellman, and then it was headed in by Gavin Lane to make it 2-2. And for the fact that this team lost 1-0 to Al Ahly in Abidjan, in Egypt, in the semi-final, and they beat Al Ahly 5-0 at their own stadium to qualify for the final. And now they come to us, they drew us 2-2. And obviously we're like regarded as doomed. But what made me angry was like when I was moving, like from the stadium, driving in my car, listening to the radio, a lot of people hammered me to say Pirates have lost the cup because of Sikhosana. He was selfish, he was greedy, he didn't score. You know, those things didn't sit well with me because I listened to that from FNP Stadium up until I got here in Tembisa, and all the supporters, everybody in South Africa, because they were following Pirates, were like, yeah, Jerry, because he didn't want to do this and that, yeah, he didn't score, yeah, the team is doomed. If the team doesn't make it, it's because of Jerry. And I never went to training on Monday. I never went to training on Tuesday.
You were on strike.
Augusto Palacios, to be honest, I was angry. Augusto Palacios was sent to my place. He found me, and I told him straight, I don't want to play. I don't want to play at all. And they were leaving on a Wednesday. And the very same Tuesday night, I was not at home. I went to my to my house, because they know I'm always with my mom, but I was staying in my house in Paisley. Then I went to my house, and the chairman arrived at home. He spoke with my mom, and then after that, I got a call from my mom to say, please, when you come to Tembisa tomorrow, bring your luggage, because I wanted to join the team, to go, because the chairman spoke with me, and you are really, really needed. And, I was hesitant on that day. And I was even late to come to the airport. I delayed the plane to go to Abidjan with all the press. I'm telling you, I delayed the plane with all the press. And when I got inside the plane, there was this sigh of relief from my teammates, because they knew we spoke over the phone to say, look, guys, I'm angry. I don't think I'll play. And they were also trying to convince me, but I wasn't happy at all. Then I went to Abidjan. Lucky enough, the chairman was in the same plane with us, and we spoke with the chairman on our route to Ivory Coast. Even when we got there, we had a lengthy chat with the chairman, and he was hands-on, because Geoffrey Tilton, after I didn't come to training Monday, Tuesday, he resigned.
Because of you?
Resigned because clearly, yes, because of me. Because I was angry, he was angry. I was being attacked, and he was the head coach who didn't like the way they attacked me. And he resigned, unfortunately, and I had to join the team. Yes, we went there. The chairman was there. We go to training. The chairman is there. And also the changing of the hotel. The chairman was there to make sure that we sleep at a better hotel compared to the one that was booked for us, with full of beds, and we couldn't sleep there. And, chairman played a big role. At training, he would come inside, and it's something which he wouldn't do. But for this cup that we won in 1995, people talk about the team of the class of 95, the goal that Jerry scored, but we all know deep down to say we had a chairman who was supportive on that difficult time when we lost the coach. Some of us, like myself, were not happy, but he tried to keep the ship together. And for us to win, the first person I ran to was the chairman to celebrate with him. Unfortunately, that was not kept. But I still say, thanks to the chairman, and that miracle goal that happened there, the chairman will always tell you to say, that was meant to happen because God was always with us. And that's how he puts it. He will tell you, Ucheri is a street cast, man. When the chairman speaks, he's got this Alexander Linger, he grew up in Alexander. And he would say,
Pracheri, it's the first time today I hear your side of the story. I hear that side of the story. All that we knew, everything was smooth. Pirates went there, they fought, and they won the game, and that's it. It's the first time today we hear you telling us, no, there was actually a lot of problems. We can't be Paris before that final. But what people don't know, Uguti, you were nicknamed Ulegs of Thunder. And Ulegs of Thunder was Ikamale Hashi. But you were named after a horse, Pracheri.
But funny enough, that horse was always losing. Really, that horse never came second. The horse was always last. And the worst part of it, the jockey there of the same horse was like a woman. So I don't know what was the comparison between me and that horse, because as we spoke earlier on, me, when I'm inside the field, I'm a fighter. I always want to win. But later on, when I got hold of the person that introduced that name, which is Boom Seleko. Yes, this series was popular on TV4. And everybody was glued on that series, that was playing in that Legs of Thunder horse. And when they told me, strike the ball, somebody said, no, there is thunder in those legs. Look at the thighs, look at the calf. And then it came and no, but these are Legs of Thunder. And it came now Jerry, Legs of Thunder, Sikhosana, But when I asked them, they said, no, yes, we took from that horse that was always failing, the Panthers, we always pumping money, but we brought it to you. and at least you kept the name going by making sure you were scoring goals. And maybe that name brought me luck because I scored a lot of goals. Yeah, a lot of beautiful goals.
A lot of beautiful goals, Prachi. I want us to talk about those beautiful goals and in rivalry no Spider. But before we talk about that, 1998, a lot of people, I don't know whether, I'm not going to say they don't know, but I don't think Uguti, they realized you were part of the World Cup squad. And last game against Saudi Arabia, I still remember, I was listening to Ukhozi FM. Umsakazi was Thandandlovu, and at that particular time you were in possession of the ball and he kept on saying, Wajeri, just fall, and you went down and the referee gave us the penalty. First World Cup in South Africa, you were there. How did you feel about it?
Well, it was like a great feeling. Especially the first ever like a World Cup appearance for the country, and I was part of that. And on top of that, just to put like the cherry on top, I was the only player that celebrated his birthday live in France in that World Cup. You know, I celebrated my birthday there, and it was live here in South Africa on like a SABC Sport. So I was like the lucky one. But unfortunately, I was unlucky not to play games that I thought I deserved to play, you know, especially with Doctor as well, because it was myself and Doctor that were the only two players that were still playing their trade locally. And the rest of the guys, you know, they were all like playing overseas, you know. But when given the chance, obviously, a Kasi guy, and that's at that stage, which I felt I was denied the opportunity of playing the other games. I had to showcase that. And it's like, I heard when this guy was like saying, fall, Jerry, fall. And it was like a small touch. But obviously, you know, tricks are tricks. It looked like the late Ian McLeod was going to give me a yellow card or a red card because they knew Jerry can dive anytime.
Ian McLeod was a no-nonsense referee. But Pracheri, no one is listening now. Were you part of the players that went out that night?
No. As okay. I've said it, I'm this person that is like more disciplined off like the field. You know, I follow the rules. We were given like a free day, and they told us we've got a free day, but we were supposed to be back at 6. And you know, if you are with Helman Mkelele, there's no way you're gonna go wrong. You know how disciplined the guy is. He was my roommate, close friend. Also, the young Benny McCarthy, we were always like together, you know, moving together because we were like next door neighbors in terms of the rooms. And even at training, when they say we meet Koratu, we will be there past, waiting outside with like clothes to get inside the bus. You know, that one I wouldn't do. It's only the guys that did it, that were exposed, and unfortunately they lost their chance of staying with us, you know, because that didn't go well with all the SAFA hierarchy and also the coach. And no, I wouldn't do that.
Pracheri, Brian Baloyi. Kwenzakalani? Ngiyabuzwa manje, you call him your friend. But no, Pracheri. When we were watching you on TV, there was no friendship there. You abused Brian Baloyi.
No. Brian knows the story. You know, if I take you back, we started playing against each other without like knowing each other. Like there was a competition that was played at schools, which was like the Super C Cup. And we won that cup here in Tembisa with my school, and they won it in Alexander with their school, with the likes of the late Sheikh Skwabeni and Caesar Mapat. Not Sheikh Skwabeni, Sheikhs. Is it Sheikh Kungwane? Yes, Kungwane. And then we played them in Tembisa for like the guys that were going to represent Transvaal. You know, back then it was like Transvaal in Devon. So after beating them here at the Royal Beach Stadium, which is now Mitaring Stadium, we beat them 3-1. I scored 2 goals against Brian, and we didn't know each other. Only when they said we need to take 5 players from Alexander to beef up our squad, we took Brian, Cesar Mapala, the late Sheikh Kungwane. I think there were other 2 guys, and also Brian's brother also was with us in that team. We went to Devon, and they were not professional, all of us. I think the late Sheikh Kungwane was playing for Formscaf. You know Formscaf. It was this team that was a good team in producing players for Chiefs, Cosmos, and Pirates as well. He was the only one that was in that team. Yes, we went to Devon. We won the competition. I was the top goal scorer. Unfortunately, Brian broke his leg in that tournament in the semi-final through a nail spread. And I was the one that tried the most for Brian. And I promised him that we were going to win the final. We won the final. And after that year, he turned pro for Chiefs. The late Sheikh Kungwane went to Chiefs. Cesar Mapale went to Cosmos. And then I went to Pirate. And then we opened our eyebrows to say, hey, schools football gave us the platform to be professional, because we went to Devon and there were scouts there. So for me and Brian, we knew each other from a long way. And then we were close buddies. So for me and him, it was like Brian would call me, hey, siyodlala when a weekend. Chiefs versus Pirate. So that created that thing.
But I kumbula la game yabo save ukuthi you were unstoppable. I know ukuthi naturally you were unstoppable, but in that game in particular, because it's one of those unforgettable games, you were scoring in all angles.
I don't know, Pro, how I can describe that. But prior to that, we played Mahuelereng Real Rovers on a weekend before. We lost, I think we lost 3-1. And I wasn't playing because I was suspended in Pulukwan. On a Wednesday, we were playing Mecha Warriors in PE. And I was back in action to play against Mecha Warriors. We won 3-0. I scored 2 goals in PE. Chiefs on the same Wednesday, they were playing the very same Mahuelereng Real Rovers that beat us 3-0. And they were playing at the Ren Stadium. They beat Mahuelereng Real Rovers 5-0. So now, because we lost to Mahuelereng over the weekend 3-0, Chiefs beat Mahuelereng on Wednesday 5-0. And we were going to play Chiefs in the bobsleigh. And they were the underdogs. Because we were told the 3 Mahuelereng scored against us, plus the 5 Chiefs scored against Mahuelereng. We were going to get 8 out of Chiefs. So I think that's what made us to be the way we were. And you look at the team, over from Willem Okpara until Sikhosana. If I mention, I give the rating, Willem Okpara can give 8 out of 10. Pirito Tete on the right, Eddie Mutale on the left, Gavin Lane, Mark Fish, center back, Innocent Mwango, the late Clifford Muliko, John Mueti, Tumisani Ngobe, Helman Mkalele on the left, Sikhosana center forward, Brendan Silent on the left. The whole team, we were unstoppable. To me, it was like just to score goals, because everything was there for me. I think the whole team played well on that day.
Fast forward, Prachir. Then, I'm just, in the interest of time, Prachir, I'm going to skip some of the things and some of the memorable moments, Ako. And then you went to Super Sport to become an analyst. Tell me about the story, say energy drink there.
Hey, bro, where do you get that from?
Prachir,
you're like a scorpion now. That was the biggest mistake, bro, man. Yes.
Tell my people.
When we go to studio, we are always told no beverages, no food, like in studio. So now when you go to canteen, we were doing 3 games on that Saturday. Imagine you do the game 3 o'clock, there is a game 6 o'clock, and there is a game 8 o'clock.
At 8.
8:15 at night. So now we went to canteen, because when you speak a lot, you get thirsty. And I thought, like the rest of the guys. I didn't see behind me. Like now I'm seated. And then I thought I've hidden this can. You know, imagine. Dragon. I'll mention the dragon. Imagine the
Dragon.
I thought the other guys they put underneath, we were all like having drinks. And then mine, like, yes, I'm late. And then I just put it behind me. And I didn't see like on my shoulder. This thing was like there. And the camera was like put on me straight because everyone has got his own camera. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, camera 4. And like the overall camera that brings us all together in studio. Eish. Eish. And now like they ask now, whose drink is that? No, nobody answers now. Everybody looks at me. The producer was asking because we were late for like to get to a production, like to get to acting, and there was no way they were gonna stop it and tell me to remove that thing because it was already there, the like viewers, and yeah, that was it. That was it. I was caught in with that energy drink. Imagine if it was a beer, bro.
It was gonna be hard. It's not gonna be hard for you. But how did you leave the passport, and why?
Well, I think there were a lot of difficulties. You know, sometimes you in life you compare where do you get a better living. You know, I was approached by Hollywood Bets to be their brand ambassador, and I think the package there was excellent in a sense that whatever that I was getting from Hollywood Bets, they wanted to have exposure, you know, for me to be on TV. But unfortunately, when I was there almost after 4 years with SuperSport, came, if I have to mention, I think it was like a Betway, if not, I think Betway. Yeah, and sometimes I would drive inside the SuperSport premises in my branded Hollywood Bets car. And I think that was like a conflict of interest, you know. And I cannot put that to be really the reason behind the whole thing. But when they started introducing some of the analysts, you know, the up and coming Siyabonga Nkosi, the Kgang Mabalane, and the other guys, and they saw maybe we were no longer adding much value. Because you remember what happened with Zain Musa, a little bit of game time, like games that you would be given in a month. You know, we were promised that I'll be given 4 games in a month that will accumulate to a certain amount overall. But sometimes you end up having 1 game. It was all about tactics and being frustrated by the people. So obviously that prompted me to say, look, thank you very much, because I can see there is a problem, especially me with Hollywood Bets and SuperSport with the Betway. And that's where the problem started. And I'm just glad because I'm still stuck with Hollywood Bets. And yeah.
And you are doing well, Prateri, with Hollywood Bets. You are doing very well. You last time I checked, you had a coaching C license. Have you done more badges?
Not yet. You know, unfortunately, I was more like on the youth program. You know, I've got my own tournament where Sikhosana Winter School Games that normally happens like when like there is a winter break from
around June, yeah.
Under 11, yes, under 11, under 13, and under 15. So I was concentrating on that, and then youngsters that would excel there. There is like Super Sports, Sundowns, Pirate, you know, and other teams that the scouts come and pick up the players from that. So I think when time permits, you know, maybe getting back to football in terms of coaching, that will allow me the chance to go back, because you cannot just go for a B license when you are not active. No, with the C license. So you need to be familiar. You need to do a lot of coaching so that if you go for B license, you've got that knowledge of how to do things. But for now, it's only the C license, and I haven't done any coaching after that. It's only what I do like in my spare time. And that doesn't allow me more time to learn the game better so that I can go for a B license.
Besides Utsabo Matlaba, who else have you discovered?
Themba Zwane, Punch Masinamela from Norway,
Mm-hmm.
Lerato Lamula, Golden Arrows.
Mm-hmm.
Sitole used to be with the Platinum Stars as the defender. He was the captain.
Oh,
well.
yeah. Defender, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Myron Shongwe. You remember Myron Shongwe?
Yes, I remember Myron Chong, the striker,
From
Black Leopard.
Amazulu.
Ah.
Amazulu, and then went to Black Leopards.
Ah.
The story with the boy, when I was still coaching about Tiko Modise, when I was coaching Tiko Modise as well, at what was it? Pulukwane, not Pulukwane City.
Pillars.
Pillars.
Yeah.
Pillars. Those were the boys that were all there. And Myron Shongo came to me as the goalkeeper. But I turned him to be a striker. And what a striker he turned to be. Come again?
It's no wonder why Kakalanje, he used to kick everything that moved in front of him.
Because that's what I saw, the drop ball. When he came as a goalkeeper, when he does the drop ball, when it does like a dead ball situation in terms of kicking. And when we do the set piece, he would just come from the goalkeeper's side. And then he would just bend them far corner with fierce. So then I was like, why don't we try you as a striker? And then he said, look, I can also play. You know, I can also play. And he started playing. And I'm glad that he turned out to be the best striker, you know, that played for Amazulu and also Black Leopards. But, you know, football is football. He couldn't get into the national team.
Are you still a Chiefs fan?
Once and always. You know, I want to say once and always. Once a Parania, always a Parania.
Okay.
But I'm a Chiefs for life.
Hey, you are conflicted, eh?
It's confusing, eh?
Yeah.
Once a pirate, always a pirate. Do you get that?
Yeah.
But I'm a Chiefs for life.
No, it public protector.
But it is like that, bro. It is like that. I'm a Chiefs. Ivan Koza knows about that. Keza Mutang knows about that. My friends knows about. I think everybody knows. Brian Baloyi. Let's go back to Brian. Brian is a pirate. He's a Parania for life. But if you talk about Brian Baloyi, you talk about Kaizer Chiefs. I'm a Chiefs for life.
Pracheri, I'm going to ask you one controversial question before we do your best 11. You once said, I think you were frustrated in those days. I think you spoke about the days when you were angry. You once said you would rather sell coal in Tembisa than play for Pirates.
Definitely.
What happened at the time?
Definitely. I think I went to China, and you know, back then there were like no agents that will look after you. And to me, it was like the club that negotiated with the club from China. All that I could do was like go to the chairman, and then I was told I was going to do the trials in China, of which I excelled within a month. But I stayed there for 2 months just to do the formalities. And when I came back, I had a meeting with the chairman, and I was told like the salary would be this much, that would be paid by the Chinese club when I go back, and the sign-on fee would be this much, that would be paid by Orlando Pirates. That was the promise, you know. So for me, only to go back to China and play football. I was happy with that. I went back to China to play the game, and there was nothing wrong with that. But for the past 4 months, I was in China. I kept on asking, you know that the time difference, China and South Africa. Like now, we're preparing to sleep, they're preparing to wake up. And the time factor was a problem. I couldn't get hold of the chairman. And when I got hold of the late Ngubane, Lawrence Ngubane, who was the chairman, late. Yes. He told me, no, the chairman has sorted it out. My money was going to be given to my mom, of which it was a procedure. I know the chairman once came to my place when we went to Abidjan. He knows where I stay. I must just keep on playing. I mustn't ask questions. I must concentrate on my game. And I did well. I was doing well for the club in China, scoring goals. And I was like the top Yeah, there. But came a time when I said, look, enough is enough. You know, I kept phoning home. There's no money that was paid. It's like my second fee. And that angered me because I couldn't get the chairman. If I want a chairman, I would get hold of the late Lawrence Guban, and then I didn't get a proper explanation. And people don't know. In China, I had a meeting with the club, and I told them everything that was happening. And they said they were going to sort it out with Orlando Pirates in South Africa. But nothing came forward for at least another month. And there was a time when I said, look, people, you've tried, you see it's difficult, and they agreed. They said, look, Jerry, there's nothing we can do. We would love you to stay, but we've paid the money to your club in South Africa. And if they don't sort you out, then we know you're not happy. You know? And then I said, look, I can pack my bags and then head back home. You know?
That's very sad.
Yes, when I got to South Africa, the same club, you know, that I served, you know, with distinction, come out and say, please, anyone who can see Jerry in Tembisa, let us know. Jerry has absconded. Jerry has run away from China. And when I came back, I had a meeting with these people again. They knew I was here in South Africa. They knew I was back because of those reasons. But they went to the press and put that statement that was like not nice, you know, to put it, because people had that perception of Jerry ran away in China. Jerry fought with the Chinese. How can you do that? You know, it was like so sad for me, for people that I looked after and I've served them well, to come with that statement. And then there was this opportunity of the press where one of the guys got hold of me to put my side of the story. And through anger, that's exactly what I said.
Oh, okay. No,
unfortunately.
That's a very sad story, Prachir. That's a very, very sad story. But I'm glad you are still alive today to tell your story and to tell your side of the story as well. Because we, as young as we were in those days, we thought, no, I should Prachir Umuntu arrogant. But anyway, let's leave all those politics aside. Prachir, give me your best PSL 11. The best 11 that you Prachir, give us your 11. Uti knows so and so and so and so and so and so up to 11 can play for your team.
Yo, bro, you put me on.
That's why we bring you here, Prachir, so that we put you on the spot.
I mean, like even the yesteryears, or you just say the current?
No, give me the current one, because give me the current one.
The current one?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I would go with Dennis Onyango as my goalkeeper.
Okay, I'm noting down, Prachir. Onyango. Yes.
Yep. I'll go with too many right backs. Too many right backs. But I will take difficult one. I would go with Nklapo, who used to play for Cosmos and now is with the Vets.
Oh yeah, Ngiyambona Nklapo, yeah. Siyabonga Nklapo.
Yes. Yes. I would go for Nklapo. And my left back would obviously, I would take Tebogo Langaman.
Langa. Best left back in the country.
For me, so far.
And for me. And for me too.
My center back, I would go with Happy Jele.
Yeah,
too much. You know, this is the player, if you want to say the Ramos of South Africa. Sergio Ramos, South Africa, loyalty and consistency. That's Happy Jele for you. And I like that. Besides, people can say whatever, but he's consistent.
Who's partnering him?
Tyson. I'm glad maybe that's going to happen next season.
We don't know. We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah, your midfield.
In my system, I can have like the 4-4-3-3 system. Officially, that was my back four that I've just mentioned. In the middle, I can have Sompo.
Sompo. Yes.
On my right, I can have like Lodge, right midfield.
Okay. Amapiano.
Yes. Forward, I can have
Yes.
like Tembazwane coming from the left.
Okay.
And then,
Your front three.
yes, it's like Tembazwane left. I can believe in him. Kermit Erasmus as the center forward.
Yeah.
Kermit.
Top guy.
Yeah. And controversially so, on the right, but not a right winger. A right that can also operate as a midfielder. Cape Town City captain, is it Ralani?
Yeah, Surprise Ralani. The short one, number 11. Yeah, Surprise Ralani.
Cape Town City.
Yeah.
That would be my best for me.
Okay, Pracheri, I'm missing one player here. You gave me Onyango, Ntlapho, Langamanjele, Tyson, Hlompokekana, Lodge, Zwane, Erasmus Ralani. Who's the one I'm missing?
No, you're missing the one like on the left midfield. The attacking midfield. Oh, the attacking midfielder on the left, because I made a mistake. Tembazwane, you can bring him a little bit inside.
Okay.
Not as a winger, the inside.
No.
Then I can have like putting like Capadinho on the left, cutting towards the right.
Mango. Okay.
On the left, coming.
Okay.
Cutting inside the right.
Who's coaching this team? Because we chairman. Who's coaching this team?
This team. Most of these players played under Rulani. Rulani knows them. Rulani would be my coach. I will hire Rulani in my team. Yeah.
Wonderful. Shushan and Pian. Pracheri.
Yeah.
We've run out of time, but we brought you here because we wanted to tell you, as South African football fans, we love you. We appreciate you, and we appreciate the work that you have done for South African football, and you have made your football journey our memorable moments. And we appreciate you, and will forever appreciate everything that you have done. I know that you have never scored a goal against Sundowns, because I'm a Sundowns fan, but we love you still.
I did score one.
Oh, you scored one.
I did. Yes, I scored one in a friendly.
Oh, I know. So there's the official goal.
I scored one in a friendly.
Pracheri, we love you. Keep doing what you are doing, and we'll always follow you. And in everything that you do, we'll always support you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks as well, bro. And you always welcome, my brother. And thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, I forgot to ask you, who's winning the league?
Oh, Sundowns. Sorry. It's not that I buy your face now, but truly, Sundowns are going to win the league. I love Chiefs. I said it. But I don't see my team getting out of this. With all the problems in that team. I love Chiefs, truly. I wish they can win the league, but no. Sundowns are going to win the league.
Sundowns are going to win the league. Pracheri, thank you very much once again. Usibongele nakumedem, usibongele nakubantwana, usibongele nakuBrasilas for bringing you through. Thank you. Have a good night.
Cheers, Baba. Gracias.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.